The security footage, taken from a nearby camera, shows Hannah Landon pulling a wagon through the neighborhood during the early morning hours. The footage reportedly captured Landon moving the bucket between late night and early morning, suggesting that the crime took place sometime before the early hours of April 26, 2023. Inside the wagon was a 10-gallon bucket, later revealed to contain Bella Fontanelle's body. Landon, 43, was accused of murdering 6-year-old Bella Fontanelle and burying her remains in a 5 to 10-gallon chlorine bucket in the front yard of her biological mother's home in Harahan, 11 miles west of downtown New Orleans. Police found the girl's remains outside her mother's house on Sedgefield Drive at around 8:20 a.m. Wednesday, April 26, 2023, less than an hour after Bella's father reported her and Landon missing. The mother's home is less than 2 blocks from where Landon lived with Bella's father. Bella was pronounced dead at the scene. An autopsy ruled her death a homicide. The footage was taken from a security camera in the Harahan, Louisiana, neighborhood where Bella's mother lived. The footage shows Landon walking calmly with the wagon down the street. The discovery of Bella's body in the bucket, combined with the surveillance footage, led the police to arrest Hannah Landon later that day. She was found at a nearby hospital after having reportedly checked herself in following the crime. Bella was pronounced dead at the scene. An autopsy ruled her death a homicide. The cause of death was determined to be strangulation and blunt force trauma. Authorities believed Landon murdered Bella at her father's house late Tuesday and took her remains to her mother's house. Landon, who is also known as Bunnock Lim and Bunnock Landon, was captured on neighbor security video pulling a wagon with a bucket inside it down both Donnellan and Sedgefield drives. Authorities secured an arrest warrant for her on April 26, 2023, a Wednesday afternoon, and detained her later in the day after she was released from a hospital.
Investigators say her father's girlfriend, Hannah Landon, also known as Bunnock Landon, killed little Bella, stuffed her in a 10-gallon chlorine bucket, and left it on her mother's front lawn late Tuesday night. The sheriff's office says it recovered surveillance video showing Landon walking down the street that night with a wagon in tow, carrying the bucket. She's now booked with first-degree murder and obstruction of justice and is being held without bond.
We've been a small bedroom community for years. You know, we average a murder once every 3.5, 4 years. And it's a tragic thing.
Harahan Police Chief Edward LaPrey says just after midnight, early Wednesday morning, Landon came into the Harahan police station asking for help.
Officer spoke to her. She seemed a little bit out of it. And they called to have her, she was asking for a transport, so they called for an ambulance to come pick her up, and once the ambulance came and picked her up, they transported her to a local hospital to be evaluated.
And that's where police say they eventually located and arrested her for murder. People who live near Bella's mother say they're in shock.
I thought everything was all-American, as you would say. You know, I know she was working through a stressful divorce. She did share that. But it seemed to be, she was okay with it. I mean, she seemed to be moving forward with that situation.
But court documents show there was conflict between the mother and Landon or Lim dating back to 2021. In one incident, court documents show the two women got into a physical confrontation during a swim meet for one of the kids, and Bella's father had to intervene. In another incident, the two seemed to scuffle during a soccer game. Chief LaPrey says the investigation into the little girl's murder is far from over.
We're going to work to the end to try to make sure we get a conviction. This is a small baby, and any family would be devastated. I can only imagine what the mother and father is going through right now.
When it happens 2 doors down from your house, and you look outside and you see multiple policemen, it is like, what in the world is going on here?
People who live in this neighborhood still cannot believe what happened, but they say they're leaning on each other.
Where she had been sent for evaluation after she showed up at the police department around 1 a.m. online jail records show she was booked into custody under the name Bunnock Landon. A judge ordered Landon to be held without bond. She faced the death penalty or life without parole if she was convicted. Court records show that Landon was appointed a public defender. A motive remains unknown. Landon had refused to cooperate with investigators, and she declined to be interviewed. Investigators did not believe Bella's parents, who had joint custody, were involved with her death. They told reporters Wednesday, adding that authorities interviewed both of them extensively. In June 2021, Landon was served a summons for simple battery after she allegedly attacked Bella's aunt, her mother's sister, at a swim meet, allegedly leaving the woman with visible scratches below her left eye and on her left hand, according to the police report. Bunnick was extremely uncooperative with officers for the duration of their time on scene, initially refusing to even identify herself, the report says. Landon told officers that Bella's aunt attacked her unprovoked, but could not produce any witnesses to corroborate her account and refused to allow officers to examine her for injuries, according to the police report. The next month, Landon tried to file for a temporary restraining order against Bella's mother and aunt, alleging that they attacked her at the swim meet and that Bella's mother had made multiple threats of harm against her. The restraining order was later dissolved, and Landon's petition for a permanent injunction and damages was denied, court documents show. Landon and Bella's father had been together for several years. He said her death was a big shock to the small community of Harahan. Bianca Cano, Bella's aunt, called her death a senseless and heinous act that has forever destroyed my family. On a GoFundMe page, she set up to pay for funeral expenses and support Bella's mother. No words can describe the pain that is running through our bodies, Cano wrote. It's truly inhumane. She described Bella as beyond perfection. Your beautiful little voice, your funny personality, the way you danced, the way you were so delicate and fragile, your smile, your laugh, the way you expressed yourself. I can go on and on about how amazing this little soul was, Cano wrote on the GoFundMe page. Bella was a student at St. Matthew the Apostle School in River Ridge, a census-designated place about 2 miles northwest of Harahan. In an email to parents, school officials said Bella's death was a horrific tragedy that will impact our school and parish community. They said classes would be canceled April 27th and 28th to allow students and faculty members time to process her death. Jennifer Zeladon is Bella Fontanella's mom. She had many conflicts with her ex-husband's girlfriend, Hannah Bunnick Landon. Recent legal records revealed that Jennifer and Hannah had disagreements in 2021. On March 17, 2021, they had a physical confrontation during a swim meet for one of the children, as documented. Bella's dad had to step in to resolve the situation. In another incident that occurred on June 8, 2021, Jennifer and Hannah reportedly had a heated argument during a soccer match. They engaged in hair-pulling, pushing, kicking, and grabbing each other. Jennifer Zeladon was married to Michael Fontanelle, and they had a daughter, Bella Fontanelle. Details about Jennifer's marriage to Michael remain unknown. However, it can be said that they are no longer together. It is worth noting that Michael was in a relationship with Hannah Landon, also known as Bunnick Lim, who has been accused of Bella's tragic incident. It has been suggested that Michael and this woman have a daughter together, but her name has not been revealed. The death of Bella Fontanelle is a heartbreaking reminder of the vulnerability of children in complex domestic situations. It reinforces the need for proactive measures in identifying and addressing warning signs, providing mental health resources, and ensuring that children are protected from harm in every aspect of their lives. This tragic event can be a call to action to strengthen efforts in child welfare, domestic violence intervention, and community involvement. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you think. Leave your comment below. Click that like button and the notification bell. We upload videos every week. Take care.